Hi everyone, this is David, and in today's video you're going to learn about the thing that forms the very basis of this course that you're taking in English composition, and that thing is essay formulas. Now you're going to be learning 4 different formulas, and here they are. Formula number 1 is the formula for the 5-paragraph essay, and you're going to learn the formulas for each part of that essay. There is a formula for the introduction paragraph, there is a formula for the body paragraphs, and then there is a formula for the conclusion paragraph. And once you have learned those formulas and can apply them in your writing, you're going to find yourself sailing through this English composition course. More importantly, you're going to find that they serve you very well in all of your academic writing at AIU. Okay, let's get started on essay formulas.
Tonight, students, I want to introduce you to the 5 formulas for essay writing that we're going to practice throughout the course. You're going to learn a formula for your outline, which you have already practiced, and that was the 4-sentence outline. Then you're going to learn the formula for the 5-paragraph essay. And the 5-paragraph essay is what this course focuses on throughout. Although not everything that you write in life and not everything that you write in school will always consist of 5 paragraphs. Sometimes there will be less, sometimes more. The 5-paragraph essay does give us a chance to practice the primary constituents of the academic response or the academic essay. Then we're going to practice these formulas for individual paragraphs. We're going to look at a formula for the introduction paragraph. We're going to look at a formula for the body paragraph. And we're going to look at a formula for the conclusion paragraph. So that's what we're doing tonight in this important chat, important video, the 5 formulas for essay writing. Now let's talk about the first formula, which is the formula for your 4-sentence outline. Really not much else to say other than it consists of 4 sentences, and this is the outline that you did earlier in the week and sent to me for approval, feedback. All right, here is the example that you were provided. Now let's review quickly what the thesis statement consists of. The thesis statement consists of the topic that you have been assigned or chose and your opinion of that topic. Now in this case, the topic from the topic list that this student chose was favorite holiday. So that topic must be repeated in the thesis statement. And then the opinion about the favorite holiday is that Mother's Day is this person's favorite holiday because of the reason that you see there. Now, the topic sentences are 3 main points. 3 points that support, illustrate, prove the thesis statement. This first topic sentence says, well, the first reason my mom deserves and loves attention is the many sacrifices she has made for my family. So that supports the thesis of why Mother's Day is this person's favorite holiday. Then there's a second reason. The second reason my mom deserves this attention is her tireless energy. And you notice the repetition of words like second, mom, etc. And then the third reason is she is so special, is the great morals she lives by. Okay, so there is your 4-sentence outline. And that's the first formula that you learn in this course because of the following reason. I have found that if a student can outline the essay using this formula, and this is true of any academic response, if the student is able to outline the response or the essay with a thesis and 3 main points that are connected together, the essay writes itself. Okay, let's go to the next formula. The next formula is the formula for the 5-paragraph essay. Now, you probably already know this, but I just want to take a second to show you where certain sentences from your outline are placed. Okay, let's call this outline, this paragraph here, the intro paragraph. And let's put in the thesis here. Now, this thesis statement goes at the bottom of your paragraph. The thesis statement is the last sentence of the introduction paragraph. That's a very important kind of rule for everybody to remember whenever writing these academic essays or these academic responses. The paragraph that contains your thesis is called the intro paragraph, and the entire purpose of that entire paragraph is to lead up to this thesis statement right here. So the thesis statement, be sure to make the last sentence in your introductory paragraph. So we will label this the intro just like that. Now, let's talk about the next form of paragraph. And the next form of paragraph is your body paragraph. Actually, I should say body paragraphs, because you will have 3 of these. So let's put in topic sentence here, and it is the first sentence of the body paragraph. The topic sentence is the first sentence of the paragraph. And then comes the rest of that paragraph. The rest of the paragraph contains your support for that one statement right there. Now, because in week 1 you are writing a narrative essay, your support in this paragraph is going to consist of memories that support this fact that she has made sacrifices. This is your support story or your support memories. And that's the second kind of paragraph that you need to know how to write. And so let's put the label up here. We'll call it a body. And remember that you're going to be writing 3 of those babies. Okay, so we have only one more paragraph to talk about, and that is the last paragraph, which is the conclusion paragraph. The conclusion is a short paragraph that you should not even worry about until you have finished everything else in this essay. So let's draw our little outline for the conclusion paragraph. And we're not going to worry too much about that because it's a very simple paragraph to write, and you're not going to worry about it until the end. The 5 paragraphs are: intro is number 1, then there is the body paragraph, body paragraph, body paragraph, and then conclusion. So those are your 5 paragraphs. Now, let's get into the formulas for each of these paragraphs, because I want you to know that there is a formula for each one of these paragraphs. And the first formula that we're going to do is the formula for the introduction paragraph. Keep in mind that it has its own formula, just like these three body paragraphs are going to have their own formula. And then the conclusion paragraph is also going to have its formula. And that's what we're going to talk about right now, is the formula for each one of these. So let's go explore the formulas for each of these three types of paragraphs. The formula for the introduction paragraph is 2 to 5 sentences about anything plus the thesis. Write 2 to 5 sentences about anything and then stick on the thesis at the end. So let's put this thesis in. Watching my dad die was the hardest thing I've ever done. Now look what we're doing. We're putting that thesis statement as the last sentence in the paragraph. And now all we have to do is to come up with 2 to 5 sentences about anything that lead into that thesis. Okay, now to prove that you can write about anything in your introduction, it really doesn't matter what sentences you come up with to introduce your thesis, just as long as you introduce your thesis. Crystal, I want you to think of any random word that comes into your mind. Look around the room, tell me the first thing you see, close your eyes, what's the first word that pops into your head? Go. Bubble gum. Okay. I was just a bubble gum Bobby Soxer when my dad got ill for the first time. As a teenager, I did not know much about life or death, but I learned quickly during his long dying. Okay, that's it. Boom, 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 boom. Now we're done. So we came up with 3 sentences, and you have a perfect introduction for your perfect thesis. And it is as simple as that. Literally, I want you to write down your thesis at the end of a paragraph, or at the end of a page, or at the end of a half page, and I want you to write any series of random sentences about any random topic, as long as you lead into the thesis statement. Because remember, let's think about what this word means right here. An introduction paragraph. What does an introduction do? It introduces something. What are you introducing? You're introducing the thesis. So an introduction paragraph has one purpose and one purpose only: to introduce the thesis. However you get that done is perfectly fine. Okay, let's go on to the second formula. And this formula is the formula for the body paragraph. And the formula for body paragraph is state, explain, support, conclude. SESC. SESC. State, explain, support, conclude. What do you state? you state the topic sentence that you already wrote in your outline and supports the thesis. What do you explain? You explain the topic sentence that you just stated in different words. What do you support? You support the topic sentence using the kind of essay that you were being asked to write. You're being asked to write a narrative essay, so your support would consist of memories. If you were asked to write a cause-effect essay, your support would consist of causes or effects or both. What do you conclude? You conclude the topic sentence. Now let's see this in action. First, let's remind ourselves what the thesis statement is. The thesis was, watching my dad die was the hardest thing I've ever done. There's your thesis. Now we're going to draw our first body paragraph. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is to put in our first topic sentence. And we practice those topic sentences, and they would be something like, the first reason it was so hard is my age. So that is the state. I just stated it, right? And I get one sentence to state. Now I'm going to explain what I just said, and I get one sentence to explain. A 13-year-old doesn't know much, and I was no exception. Now comes the support. As a seventh, I'm going to try to save a little space. As a seventh grader, I was more worried about boys and acne than life or death. As a teen, I assumed everybody lived forever. I had had no one close to me die before. So when my dad set me down that day to tell me about his terminal cancer, I was devastated, confused, frightened, and full of love, full of love and tears that would not stop. Okay, so now there is our support. Remember, in the support section, you get 2 to 5 sentences. And how many do we have there? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. We have 4 sentences there in the support section. And so now all we have to do is conclude. Loss of a parent really, really hurts when you're 13. So now we have referred back to the topic sentence about why it was so hard. We have kind of brought things full circle. So there is the formula for the body paragraph. State, we stated our topic sentence. The first reason it was so hard is my age. We explained the topic sentence. In other words, you say the same thing but in different words. A 13-year-old doesn't know much, and I was no exception. So you referred to your age there. The support, this is where your memories come in. As a 7th grader, I was more worried about boys and acne than life or death. As a teen, I assumed everybody lived forever. I had no one close to me die before. So when my dad set me down that day to tell me about his terminal cancer, I was devastated, confused, frightened, and full of love and tears that would not stop. There are our 4 support sentences. And then we conclude, we bring it all back to the topic sentence, the paragraph topic sentence. Loss of a parent really hurts when you're 13. Okay, there's the formula. And you're going to use that formula. You're going to write 3 of those. Don't forget that. You are writing 3 body paragraphs. Formula for conclusion paragraph is restate the thesis, and tell why it is important. It is as simple as that. Okay, let's give it a shot. Conclusion paragraph can be very short as long as you wrap things up in a nice, neat bundle, and be sure to repeat your thesis and tell why it's important. As long as you do that, nobody's really going to notice that much how long it is. So the first thing we're going to do is to restate your thesis. So remember, your thesis was, seeing my dad die was the hardest thing I've ever done. So you could begin something like, I am now a middle-aged woman, no longer a teenager. However, my dad's, during my 45 years, my dad's death is still the hardest thing I've done. So there you have restated your thesis. Now you tell its importance. By losing a parent so young, both him and I, there is no doubt that I learned an emotional maturity. It'd be easier if we say it was no doubt that I matured emotionally much faster than my peers. And there are the 2 parts of the thesis statement. 2 parts of the conclusion, which is the first, the restatement of the thesis, and second, tell the importance of the thesis. So let's review what we have covered tonight. First, we have reviewed the formula for the 5-paragraph essay. And that formula consists of the introduction paragraph, which ends with the thesis, at the end of it. Then the second part is the 3 body paragraphs. Each one of those body paragraphs begins with the main point that supports that thesis. Those are paragraphs 2, 3, and 4. And then the last part of the 5-paragraph essay was the conclusion. Then we talked about how each one of those kinds of paragraphs, the introduction type, the body type, and the conclusion type, has its own way of doing it, its own template, its own formula. And then we just very simply went over those formulas with me showing you how to use each one with your sample topic and your sample thesis. We went over a formula for the introduction paragraph, which is 2 to 5 sentences about anything. Really does not matter. Begin writing anywhere you wish, as long as you end with the thesis statement. We went over the formula for the body paragraph, and the formula for the body paragraph was SES, state, explain, support, conclude. That's the formula. And then we saw that formula in action. You would have to do 2 more of these to make a complete 5-paragraph essay, but we did one of those where we stated our topic. The first reason it was so hard is my age. You explain that. Well, by that I meant a 13-year-old doesn't know much, and I was no exception. Then you supported it. And there is where you give your memory or your details, and then you conclude it, by all referring back to the topic sentence. And then we went over the formula for the conclusion paragraph, which consists of two parts: restating the thesis in different words, and then ending with one to two sentences telling about why that thesis is important.